Everyone, keep it together. We knew this fight wasn't going to be easy. Remember why we're doing this. For Markiplier, for PewDiePie, for Cinnamon Toast Ken, they all demand justice. The admin falls tonight.
Our digital counter curse had only bought us a brief reprieve. The admin's power grew as more and more players succumbed to the game. We were fighting a losing battle, our numbers dwindling with each passing moment. But Lily, ever resourceful, she had an ace up her sleeve. In a hushed voice, she revealed that she had reversed engineered the game's code to create a kind of backdoor. We could enter Echoes of the Lost ourselves, not just as viewers, but as active participants. We gathered our most skilled gamers and hackers, those who could navigate the treacherous digital landscape. They prepared to jump into the fray, armed with nothing but their wit and a deep understanding of the game's mechanics. The rest of us, we would support them from the sidelines, offering intel and encouragement. Our fates intertwined, we waited for the signal, our hearts pounding in our chests like the bass of a horror movie score. The moment came. With a collective deep breath, we watched as our team vanished into the screen, their avatars flickering into existence in the game's twisted world. They moved swiftly, dodging traps and solving puzzles with a grace that belied their fear. The chat room erupted into a symphony of typing, each of us playing our part in the unfolding drama. The digital battle was intense, our every move scrutinized by the watchful eyes of the admin, who lurked in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As the game progressed, we could feel the tension building. The admin grew more desperate, the digital landscape shifting and morphing into something darker, more malevolent. Our team pushed forward, driven by the memory of those we had lost.
Skater Jean was a hero. I will avenge you, Mr. Creepypasta.
The final puzzle was before them, a labyrinth of code and pixels that seemed impossible to navigate, yet they pressed on, each step echoing through the digital void like a declaration of war.
Hey guys, I just logged in. Does anyone actually know what we're supposed to be doing? I'm so lost. Dude, are you fucking serious right now, random guy number 69? What the fuck? Oh man, I got a bad feeling about this, everybody.
The puzzle was a maze, a twisted representation of the internet itself. It was a race against time, our hearts beating in sync with the ticking clock that counted down the lives of those still trapped within. We shouted instructions, our eyes glued to the screen as our avatars danced through the ever-changing corridors. The admin watched on, a silent specter, biding their time. And then it happened. The maze collapsed, revealing the source of the curse, a digital heart pulsing with malevolent energy. Our team converged, their digital weapons at the ready. Then the admin made their move, a final gambit to destroy us all. The screen flashed with a blinding light, and for a moment, we were lost in the chaos. But then the lights dimmed, and our avatars stood before the digital heart, the power of the curse waning. We had found the weakness in the Lament configuration's code, a flaw that could be exploited. With trembling hands, Lily input the final sequence.
I hope you choke on it, you son of a bitch.
The heart quivered, the screen flickered, and we held our breath, hoping beyond hope that this was the end. And just like that, the game was over.
It's over! That one was for you, Roanoke Gaming! We missed you!
The digital world dissolved into static, leaving us all staring at a blank screen. The silence was deafening. The weight of what we had just witnessed hanging heavy in the air. We had done it. We had stopped the curse, brought light to the shadows that had consumed our digital lives. The chat room, it erupted into cheers and tears. We had not just saved YouTube, We had become its heroes. The world outside had changed. The horror of the past weeks a stark reminder of how fragile our connections truly were. But we had found strength in unity, a bond forged in the crucible of fear and loss. The news spread quickly. The world mourned the fallen, but there was a spark of hope in the darkness. The game had been defeated, the curse lifted. Yet, we knew that our battle was not over. The admin, it was still out there, watching, waiting. We had disrupted its plan, but the war for the soul of the internet, that was just beginning. In the quiet of my room, I reflected on the journey we had taken together. From passive viewers to active participants, we had learned that we could shape our own destinies. The digital world was vast and powerful, yet so were we. As long as we had each other, as long as we had the courage to face our fears, we could conquer any challenge. Later that year, the unthinkable was revealed. The government had orchestrated the entire ordeal, seeking to eliminate the independent voices that had grown too loud, too influential.
And remember, kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
They had used Echoes of the Lost as a tool, a weapon to silence the famous YouTubers that they feared could swing public opinion. The truth hit us like a ton of bricks, a betrayal that shook the very foundations of our trust. We were outraged, our sorrow replaced by a white-hot anger. We had to expose the government's heinous scheme to the world. The same unity that had carried us through the darkest days of the curse was now fueling our determination to bring justice to the fallen.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but here we are. These are the same bastards that killed our friends. Cinnamon Toast Ken, they killed Cody Co. They're gonna come for us all. We have to strike back now.
We went public with our findings, the stories spreading like wildfire across every corner of the internet. But our victory was short-lived. The government, desperate to maintain control, retaliated with a terrifying countermove. They had secretly created clones of our beloved YouTubers and programmed them to hunt us down. The very faces that had brought us comfort now haunted our nightmares, twisted into monstrous reflections of themselves. The digital world we had fought to save had become yet another battleground, and the enemy was now amongst us.
Today's gonna be a good day, and anyone that says otherwise can go to hell.
These clones of our beloved YouTubers descended upon the real world. They were like a swarm of pixels made flesh. They moved with an eerie grace, and their eyes glowed with the cold light of the screens that had once given them life. We watched in horror as they claimed the lives of millions, a silent, relentless army that marched to the tune of their creators' twisted ambitions. The line between reality and the virtual realm had all but been erased, leaving us to face a horror we never could have imagined. And the streets, they ran red with the blood of the innocent. And the digital landscape we had once known, it was now a war zone. There were clones everywhere. Their cold, emotionless faces, they stared back at us from every screen. We had to fight, not just for our lives, but for the very essence of what it meant to be human. The battle had moved beyond the confines of our computers, and we had to adapt. We took to the streets, using our knowledge of the game to anticipate the clones' moves. We formed guerrilla units, our skills in strategy and teamwork honed by our time in the digital trenches.
All right, everybody, you remember Call of Duty Zombies? Well, this is going to be just like that. We need to funnel them into a choke point where we can take them all down. Let's do it!
The world watched on in horror as the clones tore through cities, leaving destruction in their wake. But we would not go quietly into the night. Our numbers grew as more and more people learned the truth. We were no longer just fans. We were the resistance. With every life we saved, every clone we defeated, we sent a powerful, clear message to the government. We would not be silenced. We had seen the power of unity, and we would not let it be forgotten. The war raged on, a battle between the old world and the new, and our mission was clear: to free the digital realm of the government's grip, to restore the balance of power. As we fought, we mourned the loss of our heroes, the creators who had brought us together. But in their place, we had become the champions of our own story, writing a new chapter in the annals of history. The fight was far from over, but we were ready. We had faced the abyss and stared it down. The clones could not extinguish the light that we had found in the darkest of places. With every step we took, every life we reclaimed, we grew stronger and more determined. And as we stood side by side, our hearts beating in defiance, we knew that we were not just playing a game anymore. We were fighting for the soul of the internet, for our very existence.
This ends now,
I declared, my voice echoing through the digital void. The government had underestimated us, had thought they could control us through fear and manipulation. But we had turned their weapon against them, had used their own creation to expose the rot at their core. The world watched as our rebellion grew, a spark in the night that threatened to become an absolute inferno. Their fury was palpable, their tactics more desperate. The clones grew more sophisticated, their movements more unpredictable. Yet, we had become a force to be reckoned with. Our team of gamers, coders, and conspiracy theorists had evolved into a well-oiled machine, each of us playing to our strengths, each of us driven by that same fierce resolve. So, as we approached the final bastion of the government's digital control, the air grew thick with anticipation. The clones, they were everywhere. A sea of pixels and malice. But we had a plan, a gambit, if you will, that could change the game forever. We had discovered a way to infect the clones with a digital virus, a code that would spread through the network like wildfire, freeing the trapped spirits of our fallen YouTube heroes and turning the tide of the war. The moment the virus was released, the clones stumbled, their movements becoming erratic. The digital heart of the game, the lament configuration, pulsed with a new chaotic energy. The government's grip on the digital world began to falter, and the cracks in their system spread like fissures in the earth. We watched, holding our breath, as clones around the globe began to falter. Their digital forms flickered and distorted, and the code of the virus broke through the government's control. It was a sight to behold, a digital rebellion that transcended the screen and reached into the very fabric of reality. The world held its breath as the clones crumbled, one by one, their lifeless bodies collapsing into piles of glitched pixels. The government's reign of terror, it had ended. Not with a bang, no, but with a whimper, as the digital heart of the game shattered into a million pieces. The echoes of our victory rippled through the internet, a testament to the power of unity in the face of tyranny. As the dust settled, we stepped out of the shadows. Our virtual avatars, now the heroes of a very real revolution. The internet was once again ours, a place of freedom and creativity. The government had been defeated, but the battle, it had left its mark on all of us. We all knew that we could never truly go back to the way things were. The world had changed, and so would we. Yet, amongst the ruins, there was hope. The connections we had formed, the bonds that had been tested in the crucible of fear, had proven unbreakable. The digital divide had been bridged, and a new era was dawning. We had learned that together, we could conquer any challenge, and that together, we could change the world. The screens of our devices flickered back to life, the pixels reassembling themselves into familiar faces. The YouTubers we had lost, they returned to us, their digital spirits freed once more.
Guys, have you heard? Cinnamon Toast Ken, Skeeter Jean, Dr. Creepin, Mr. Creepypasta, even Cody Co. They're back. Somehow they're all alive.
The air was filled with cheers and tears as we realized the full extent of what we had achieved. But even as we celebrated, we knew that there would be more battles to fight. The digital realm was vast and ever-changing, and there would always be those who sought to control it. Yet, we had proven ourselves very capable of standing up to tyranny, of fighting for what was right. And so, as the echoes of the lost faded away, a new chapter began. We were no longer just fans of a game or viewers of a stream. We were the guardians of a new world, a world where the power of connection could conquer even the darkest of foes. The story of our rebellion, it was written into the code of the internet, a reminder to all who dared to threaten our freedom. The digital age had spawned new heroes and a new breed of warriors who had learned the true value of unity. And as we stood together, our eyes on the horizon, we knew that we would face whatever came next, united in our quest to keep the digital world a place of laughter, love, and light. Cheers to you, Ancient Baseball 752. You've done it again. So I really enjoy this series. For those of you not in the know, this was part of his They're Out There Killing Off YouTubers series. These were entries 2 and 3 that I combined into a single story. And I've got to say, I'm really happy with the way that this came out. I love the fact that we were finally able to take down the architect, and we took down the government too. So bravo. Also, we brought them all back. All the YouTubers that got killed off, they came back to life. So this is one of those rare stories that seems to have a happy ending. Or does it? So, Ancient Baseball 752 is a very, very active writer. I mean, he's written a ton of stories. If you just check out his Reddit account, in the last 4 hours since I did this recording, he's put up another story. I just recruited Ash from GT Live for a battle against SpongeBob and his evil cartoon army. He's done so much, and I really enjoy his work, and I hope you guys do too. So please go ahead and go back and read the original stories, give them a like, and spread the word about this author. Now, as you probably know, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so I'd like to wish everybody out there a very happy Valentine's Day, whether you're doing something with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your significant other, whatever you want to call them. Please have a great time. And with that, everybody, I'd like to bid you adieu for the night. Peace!